What's up, Raptors fans? RaptorsHQ, Scott Campsall, franchise. Talking a little bit about the NBA draft, which seems like it concluded years ago now, but it's only been a short time ago, and it's really because everything's sort of been run together with the shortened season. What were your thoughts on the draft?
Interesting pick, rather anti-climactic pick. I mean, building up to the draft, it was really exciting. All the people we talked to had no idea what they were going to do. And then you just slowly see those picks. You know, Dion Waiter goes at 4. You know, Harrison Barnes just painfully goes at 7. Yeah. And Toronto's left with Terrence Ross, which, you know, not that exciting, but when you think about the fact that they're going all in on Steve Nash, pick actually makes sense. I mean, he's an athletic wing. He can defend a little bit. He can shoot. Doesn't need to have the ball in his hands. So, I don't know, interesting pick from that perspective.
Yeah, I think that was my take. I think on the site, Ross was one of the players we didn't talk about a lot. I think maybe he was on the big board in sort of our 5th option at one point in time, but that 5th option, I think, as I discussed on the site, was sort of, there were a number of people that I would have been okay with in that spot. And it sounded like that was genuinely the player the Raptors had slotted after their, you know, big 3 wish list of Lillard and Barnes and Waiters. So from that standpoint, I mean, they were happy to get that player in terms of the value they saw in him, apparently. But you could tell even from Colangelo and they were disappointed they didn't get one of the other guys.
It's telling that they didn't pick Austin Rivers, and I think this is something that even Dwayne Casey mentioned, because he needs to handle the ball too much. Yeah. So, I mean, that really tells you right there that they're going all in on Steve Nash. Yeah. And, you know, Harrison Barnes would have been a perfect fit right there, a guy that doesn't necessarily need to handle the ball as much. But, I mean, you get what you can get. And in the end, Terrence Ross is a decent consolation prize.
Yeah, I actually wonder if Terrence Ross is, going to be a better pro than Harrison Barnes. Just my own theory. And I also wonder if he's going to be better than DeMar DeRozan, actually. I think actually he will be better, but we'll leave that for another time. What about the second round? What did you think?
Quincy Acey is an interesting pick. I mean, obviously not the home run pick that you might be looking for in the second round, but a guy that's definitely going to help, you know, a Dwayne Casey guy. He's going to come in, he's going to give energy, he's going to push guys in practice. Andrea Bargnani. And I think it makes sense from that standpoint, but again, I mean, you had an interesting thoughts on this.
Yeah, I think second round, this one you can swing for the fences a bit. There were a lot of upside guys there, Quincy Miller, guys that really could be, you know, real big pieces of the team. I don't think Quincy will ever be a huge piece. You know, I could see him being maybe a valuable 7th, 8th, 9th man kind of. But he, you know, in college, I kind of found him to be underwhelming for all his physical talents and abilities. You know, so it will be interesting to see how that transitions. You know, in the past, basically, we've seen Colangelo look at a guy like PJ Tucker or Nathan Juwai, and it was sort of well, those guys don't have much, you know, those aren't upside picks. Those are, we need a big body, we need this, so-and-so. So I thought this was sort of the same story, and I was hoping for something else. Yeah.
Well, hopefully Quincy Acey's not out of the league in a year like those guys, but I mean, Quincy Miller, I think, is the guy. A lot of people wrote about that. He was the guy that, you know, you take a chance on because he could have been a lottery pick had he stayed at Baylor.
Yeah, and I think a couple other guys that had NBA-specific skill sets, 3-point shooting, Kim English, guys like that, guys they had brought in for workouts too, might have been interesting. You know, not terrible, not the most amazing situation. I think really the big picture for me was that they didn't put themselves in a good position to get a great player, finishing, you know, with the 8th overall pick.
That's true.
Anyway, we want to know your thoughts. Let us know about you know, your feelings on the draft, the picks, the, you know, opportunity that might have been there, some other players rumored to have been options or trade possibilities, and make sure you subscribe to the channel.
Always subscribe to the channel.